Hi, it's me, Tony. If you see me looking down, I have notes. That's why. So this video is going to be a little bit scattered in a way because I need to film information now to get this video started, and I won't get the rest of the information until much later. So just to let you know, you are seeing this video on the day I leave for Japan. This would be about everything else I didn't talk about and summing up all the money spent along with my thoughts on everything. Let's not dilly-dally. Let's get right to it. Firstly, I did my background check, got my fingerprint done at a live scan. The ink card was $20. Mailing it was $3.13. I had to buy an envelope. And the government fee for this, because you had to send it to the FBI, was $18. It took about 8 days for them to get it, and then it got approved that same day. Now about my plane ticket. Remember how I said it was flexible and I paid $1,161 for it? And it was to LAX to Haneda Airport. Well, those are all wrong now. Firstly, the flight is not flexible anymore because they are now operating at only 70 to 80% capacity. I had to pay an extra $165 because of limited seating. And I'm flying in and out from Narita, the farther airport from Tokyo, which is still fine. I'll be like Jaden Smith in the Karate Kid movie where he's just like looking at China as they drive, except it's Japan. I got my ticket. It's booked. I leave from LAX at 12:45 p.m. on December 31st with Singapore Airlines, and I get to Narita at 5:30 p.m. their time. And I come back from Japan on February 11th. And then I have to drive back home because I don't live that close to LA. I'll come back with more information in a second for you, in a week or two for me. Hello. It's been about a week, maybe. Let's get right into it. I got an email, and I got 7 attachments with it. I got where I will be staying in Japan. I'm gonna look at them on here, but I'm gonna show you them here. I can't give you every information. I don't know if it's okay to like share exactly like where it is and stuff. So I'm gonna show you as much as I think is okay. So firstly, there is pre-arrival information to Tokyo. It says, on your first day, please come to school by 9:20 a.m. You're gonna have your first 2 hours of Japanese. It has a map of where the school's at. And if you want to read more into this, you can pause the video. It has a table of contents. It has flights and arrival. If you land before 6 a.m. or after 6 p.m., you pretty much like don't get a ride unless you contact them, I guess. It's kind of what it seems like. It talks about the visa. I don't need a visa. It talks about the school and the password for the Wi-Fi, amenities that you can use, school facilities, the restrooms, where they're at and for who, laptops which you can use at, drinks are on which floor, where the classroom's at, where the smoking area is at, where to throw away your trash, because Japan does a very strict trash taking thing. The events, I'm assuming this is like for every week these events happen, and how many people it will have to be for it to happen. Language exchange partners, packing list, what you should pack, which was kind of in a form that I've showed you before that we've gotten already. But this does add slippers, which made me put slippers on my list of packing things. The school staff, school opening hours, which is it's open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. Course changes and extensions, national holidays, class attendance. Also talks about if your attendance is lower than 70%, we will not be able to issue you a completion certificate. The class schedule. Classes are 50 minutes each. Earliest class is at 9:30 and the last class ends at 6 p.m. Class rules. The school is open to the public, so take care of your belongings. Students under 20 are not allowed to smoke or drink in Japan. That's not me. I won't smoke there. I'm over 21, so whatever, continue. Group class availability. So this was interesting to me. If the number of students in an ongoing class becomes 2 or less, the amount of classes will be adjusted as follows. If I am understanding that correctly, it means the less people that are in class, the more we don't go to class. I'm not sure if that's correct. That's what it sounds like, and that would be awesome because then you have more time to explore Japan. Japanese study, so they tell you what the textbooks are and stuff. The timetable of how the schedule will be. So Monday through Thursday and Friday is the same up until lunchtime. I didn't realize school was going to take all day, but what are you going to do? Course and administration costs. So if you want to add stuff, this is how much it costs. Safety numbers. Natural disasters, so it talks about earthquakes and typhoons and heat waves. School, fire emergency, talks about fraud, harassment, and insecurity. So it pretty much talks about women on trains and, how... Do you know the situation in Japan of women on trains? They can harass you. Safety things, So it actually says, if you are touched inappropriately, shout chikan, which is harassment, and point to the person who touched you. Station staff is trained to deal with these situations and they will quickly call the police. NHK, it's a TV thing that I don't have to deal with. Health and hygiene. It has other numbers of medical places and dentist places. Insurance and medication. You're required to have medical insurance for the duration of your trip. And talking about the medication that you bring on the plane, like make sure you can bring it pretty much, and that you have a doctor's note for some medication. Money, it says how large of amount of money is just depends on what you're going to spend it on. At a minimum, we would recommend the following: 1,500 yen per day for food, lunch and dinner. That is cheap. 500 yen per day for transportation, extra for activities and shoppings. 1,500 yen per day? How much is 1,500 yen in dollars? $11.34. $11.34. So $12 for lunch and dinner. You can't go out and eat lunch or dinner for less than $11 or $12. It's hard to judge how much you will need. Here are some of the prices and ideas of how much things will cost. So everything on this list is lower than $40. You can access money through credit cards, ATM debit cards, cash, bank transfers. It recommends you using cash. ATM is where I'm going to get my money because it has the best rate. Like I was saying, currency exchange, ATM has the best rate, but these are other places you can do. Checks are not normally used in Japan. Living in Japan talks about SIM cards and internet and Wi-Fi. Culture shock, transport, talking about IC cards, so I'm going to get a Suica. They also have Pasmo. You can get an individual ticket. You can get a commuter pass, which is like monthly or whatever. It tells you how to do it. Safety on trains, train etiquette. Pretty much don't answer the phone and be on the phone in the train. And be quiet. Talks about traveling around with tour agencies, traveling within Japan, and transportation can get expensive. Talks about JR pass, flights, buses, which are the cheapest way, especially to go long distance. It's overnight buses. Talks about COVID-19 measures. Says thank you. That was a lot of information, like I've been recording for almost 20 minutes information, okay? Next thing. Let's try to fly through this. Is the coronavirus response guidelines as of May 2022. It pretty much just talks about how things are going to be working with the coronavirus if someone gets COVID, and who gets COVID, what happens with that, what should happen in the sense if teacher gets COVID, and a whole bunch of stuff like that. So if you want to read that, you can read that. That's what it is. The next thing is a self-check-in guide for my Sharehouse. It just talks about how to go about it. The steps are: read the guide, follow the map to reach the house, collect the key as indicated, access your room and contact their staff, and meet their staff. So after reading the guide, following the map, collecting the key, when you contact them, you set up a meeting for them to meet you. At the very bottom is the house rules, so you have to fill it all out and write your, sign your life away. Okay, next is general information about the share house, so how the keys work and the parking lot, the private spaces, pretty much that you have to keep your stuff in your own room. And it talks about trash and how trash works and how trash is hard. It's about the common space and about the rooms. Next is Genki Japanese and Culture School Shared House Introduction. So it tells you the address, the telephone number, the website, and the emergency phone number. It tells you pretty much exactly how to get from the airport to the share house, but I am supposed to be getting a ride, which will come in my next segment of this. This is about 26 minutes. And then it shows some pictures of the share house. Next, I'm not going to show you this, but they show you a map of where things are. And then the last thing they sent me is a self-checkout guide. So it's just preparation, confirmation, and checkout. So you just get all your stuff, clean your room, throw away trash. You have to send photos to the staff. Oh my gosh, that was a lot. I've been filming for a long time. So hopefully this video is not too long. Okay. Okay, we got confirmation on the airport pickup. I had to remind them it was Narita, not Haneda. I also found out that there's actually no school on that first Monday, on the 2nd, and on the 9th. They're both holidays. So I actually got an email asking if I wanted to do activities following the no school days. Bowling and mochi pounding. Going into Japan, at least right now, you have to go on Visit Japan's website and fill out a bunch of stuff to help you get through the airport faster. Technically don't have to, but why wouldn't you want to go through everything faster than having to do it when you're there? I did this and I got 3 QR codes, one for quarantine, one for immigration, and one for customs. If you want to know how to do it or what it looks like, I watched Ninja Monkey's video. I'll link it down below, along with other things I talked about and anything that might be helpful. But a few main things that you need are vaccination card. While you technically don't need a vaccination card, you could also get a COVID test, but I'm vaccinated, so that's easier. Your passport, a phone number, your flight number, and the address where you'll be staying. I'm going to take physical copies with me as well, just to be safe. Okay, let's get into the money. So far, added up, we have $1,367.13. Let's add $227.12 for my travel insurance. I finished paying for it. It's right here in physical form, and I also have it on my phone. So I'm getting pocket Wi-Fi from Wi-Fi rental. The school gave me a discount for it. I actually looked for more to see if I could get a better price. I found this website, and as of June 5th, these were the prices, but they're not all correct now because I went on some of them and the numbers didn't add up. So take it with a grain of salt. Do your own research. It ended up being cheaper for me to use this one. It is $52.98, but that is for 1 month and it extends automatically, and I think that it's gonna charge me for the whole month again, even though it's not gonna be a full month. But even if it does, it's still only like $104. Lots of the places that I put date to date and it was like $150, so still a better price, I think. If I didn't book with Global Work and Travel and I still went to GenkiJacs, which is a school, these would be the fees I would pay instead of what I paid for Global Work and Travel. So when you add up all these fees, if I did it right, which I think I did, but it does say 2021 pricing, it's possible it's not 100% correct. But if I did it right, for the housing, for the airport pickup, for all of it, 11,000 yen plus 11,000 yen plus 20,000 yen plus 33,000 yen times 6, because it's 6 weeks, and 15,000 yen times 6, because it's 6 weeks, plus 25,000 yen equals 355,000 yen, which converts to $2,677.83 as of recording this video. In comparison, for all that, I paid $3,495. I also have to mention this. Since my ticket isn't flexible anymore, I could have bought that ticket myself for cheaper. Even a couple weeks ago, that exact same flight was still like $300, almost $400 cheaper. And looking at it 4 days away to leave, it's still $300 cheaper with Japan Airlines. And when I asked about this, they responded. Global Work and Travel wouldn't let you get last minute flights because of all the information they need in a certain amount of time. And they don't recommend getting flights like on Kayak and Skyscanner and stuff because they say that the flights that they show are not always active. But I've never had that problem and I would totally use those websites. It's worked every time, and if that one doesn't work out, then get a new one. It's still, you get to see the cheaper things. They get the tickets from the actual airline's website, which is always more expensive from my experience, which isn't a lot, but still. If I knew Japan was going to open when it did, I would have bought my own ticket, honestly. Other than those kinds of things, Global Work and Travel has been very helpful, and they can answer all my questions within time. The information I was waiting for, which was the address of where I'll be staying, came in a little less than 2 weeks from when I leave, and the airport transfer information came 4 days before leaving. I think that was all the information. Everything added up, I spent $5,142.53. I'll let you know if anything else comes up and how much more in another video if anything happens, you know? If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. See you on the other side. If you like this video, you can go ahead and do that. If you want to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel, but I'm not going to force you because I'm a Hufflepuff. And I think that's it. Okay?